Hi guys, LegendaryWraith here, and welcome to this episode where we will be looking at the Marder 2 tank, which is a tier 3 German tank destroyer. In this episode we will go over the Marder 2's strengths, weaknesses and loadouts, as always followed by an excellent demonstration of its usage on the battlefield. If you've unlocked the Marder 2 tank, you of course came from the Panzerjäger 1 tank, and you'll hopefully see this tank as a bit of an upgrade. The Marder 2 tank has two major weaknesses that I want to talk to you about. The first weakness is of course its armor. 35mm of armor to the front and 15mm to the sides and to the rear of this tank. This is very unimpressive for a tier 3 tank. In fact, half of the guns on tier 1 tanks will be able to penetrate you, and pretty much all of the tier 2 tanks will be able to penetrate you even from the front. Furthermore, this tank is open topped, which means it has no roof, so you're very susceptible to high explosive damage from artillery pieces and other tanks that shoot high explosive shells. Also, any light tank, regardless of their cannon, will deal damage to you when they shoot you from the rear if they hit the crew compartment up here. The second big weak point for this tank is part of its cannon, specifically the accuracy and the aim time of the cannon, but I'll get back to that later. Regarding this tank's strengths, well, one of its strengths is that it has a good view range and a good camouflage rating. Specifically 360 meters view range and an above average camouflage rating. This is of course only if you have your crew at 100% training. When we get to the loadout section of this video later on, I'll tell you why it's a good deal that this tank has a good view range and a good camouflage rating. Great. Now, your aim time, as I said, improved to 2.5 seconds. Still a little bit on the slow side for a tier 3 tank, and your accuracy is only 0.40. As I mentioned before with the earlier cannon, with the German tank destroying line, you expect cannons to be very precise, because that's what the German tank destroying line is known for. But this cannon still leaves something to be wanted. Now, if we get to the loadout section here, equipment, I would definitely recommend you to take the camouflage net and the binocular telescope. And the reason for that is because this tank has, well, are the 2 points that leaves something to be wanted. Especially considering that the German tank destroying line are known for their very accurate guns. When you upgrade the tank to the third package here, which I definitely recommend you to do, you get the 7.5cm Pak 40/2 L46 cannon. This cannon shoots 12.5 rounds a minute, you won't notice that difference, but has an increased penetration of 108mm of penetration. That is very impressive. Your damage goes down by 5 points to 110 points of damage. You won't really notice that. Your aim time improves to 2.5 seconds, and your accuracy also improves to 0.40. Now, if we take the damage and penetration first, 110 points of damage is still very impressive for a tier 3 tank, and 108mm of penetration is extremely impressive. As a matter of fact, this tier 3 tank destroyer with this cannon and a standard AP shell will be able to penetrate a KV-1 tank from the front at least 300 meters distance. That was the KV-1 tank I was talking about, the notorious Russian heavy tank, known by players for being nearly impossible to penetrate with most other tanks. Even at tier 4 and some at tier 5, you will be able to penetrate that tank with this cannon and a standard AP shell even from the front. Just remember though, you need to shoot at the lower part of the KV-1's lower glacis plate, the upper part of his upper glacis plate, or the top of his frontal hull if you want to penetrate. Now, your aim time, as I said, improved to 2.5 seconds. Still a little bit on the slow side for a tier 3 tank, and your accuracy is only 0.40. As I mentioned before with the earlier cannon, with the German tank destroying line, you expect cannons to be very, very precise, because that's what the German tank destroying line is known for. But this cannon still leaves something to be wanted. Now, if we get to the loadout section here, equipment, I would definitely recommend you to take the camouflage net and the binocular telescope. And the reason for that is because this tank has, well, practically butter for armor. You want to stay hidden, you want to stay in a bush, near a rock or near a crest, and get ready to snipe when enemies are spotted. And to help you in that role, the camouflage net, which decreases your detection chance, and the binocular telescope, which improves your view range when you're stationary, are very, very helpful pieces of equipment. So I would definitely recommend to take these two pieces of equipment as soon as you have the credit available. For a third equipment slot, well, you can take the toolbox if you want. I don't think you will need it all too much, as this tank doesn't really have a big health pool, so 2 or 3 shots and you should be out of the game anyways. The complex pieces of equipment, well, in my opinion, none of them are really useful except for the enhanced gunling drive, which improves your aim speed by 10%, and that can be quite helpful when you have a slow aiming tank or a slow aiming gun. But do remember though that if you pick any of these complex pieces of equipment, it will cost you 10 pieces of gold to remove it from your tank, or you'll only get half your silver back when you sell the tank. Regarding supplies here, as I've mentioned earlier, you will be able to penetrate the most heavily armored tier 5 heavy tank in the game, 2 tiers above your own tank, with a standard AP shell with the top gun on this cannon. So definitely bring plenty of the AP shells. And on the same note, I don't see any use to spend more than 1500 credits per shot on the APCR shells, as you only get more penetration with these shots. The high explosive shells, well, they do have their uses, so I always bring a couple for the improved damage in case you shoot at an artillery piece or a very, very light tank. Regarding the consumables here, well, the small repair kit, the small first aid kit, and the manual fire extinguisher can all be very useful. It will only cost you 9,000 credits to buy all 3 of these, and of course 3,000 each time you use one. And they do have their uses, and with these 3 you should be plenty covered. So just to summarize, this is a very weakly armored tank, but it has a very, very strong, high damage dealing gun that is subpar in accuracy and a little bit on the slow side to aim with. You have a good view range and a good camouflage rating, and thus should definitely buy the camouflage net and the binocs. As I've mentioned earlier, you should play this tank as a sniping tank. Hide in a bush just next to a rock or near a crest, and wait for enemies to be spotted and move out of cover, and then just snipe your heart out. As soon as you're spotted, move back into cover, as you have very weak armor and the enemy will chew you up. Do not try to play this tank as a brawler or anything like that. You need to stay at the back and play this tank as a sniper, and you just have to live with the accuracy being subpar for this tank. And on that note, it's time to see how this tank performs on the battlefield. And here we are on Malinovka. As you may have noticed, both teams are split just about evenly with tier 4 and tier 3 tanks. And I should note that I'm playing with the stock version of the Marder 2 tank. So and as I said before, when playing this tank, it's very important to find a good sniping spot and then stick to it. So I move up to this crest up here. And hope that I can move back into cover in case I'm spotted. And there's the first enemy, T-40. Oh yeah. And there I'm penalized by that very slow aim speed of the cannon. 2.7 seconds. Can't seem to find anything here. Let's see. Or maybe I can put some shot into him. Let's see here. Yes! 92 damage to that M2 medium. Ah, damage his track. Come on. No, he's out of there. Oh, but there's the T-40. Fired too prematurely, and there again we see one of the big drawbacks for this tank and this cannon. That very slow aim speed makes you want to shoot prematurely and makes you miss the shot. But when you hit, you are deadly. Another miss there.
Ready to fire. Focus on this location.
Will I even get any kills in this playthrough? Let's see. And here with this tank, it's important to have patience. Let's see the 40 here. Yes, 121 damage. And that hurt. That hurt a lot. Let's see. Oh, can we hit him over there? No, he moved.
Locked and loaded. Focus on this
And
area.
those two tanks are just out of my reach, so let's see. Yeah, and as I said before, it's very important in this tank not to get eager and try to run out there, because you will die, and you will die quickly. 165 health points at tier 3 is not gonna save you. 114 damage there to another T-40, and he's out of the game.
Loaded and ready.
Let's see, can we hit that M3 Stewart? Oh, too soon. No!
Penetrate their armor.
A lucky bounce there from him.
We lost an ally.
Probably hit him at a very bad angle. Things are not going too great for my team right now. They've got 8 kills, we only got 5. Let's hope we can turn the tide here.
Focus on this location.
Yeah, hoping they can take out that light tank over there. Oh, here we go.
Reloading.
heck is he hiding behind? Oh. He's coming up over there. The artillery took him out. And now the odds have evened a little bit. Let's see. There was the other T-40. Yes! The first kill in this match. Almost 5 minutes in. And again, I cannot stress enough, you need to hold back with this tank. Do not push too far, or you will find yourself killed far too quickly.
Focus attention here.
Let's see. I want to get out of here, because that T-40 back there could do some real damage to me. At least now I'm in cover. But of course that also means I can't see the enemy. So Panzer II PS. Let's try and see if we can do something about him. He has very tough armor, it must be said. That was a miss. Another miss. Yes, 110 damage. And I'm spotted. I need to get out of here before those 3 artillery pieces take me out. Oh, I was lucky. Now it's just 3 artillery pieces and a single tank destroyer. But then again, we're only 2 artillery pieces and 2 tank destroyers on our team. Let's see. I'll try and set up a good sniping spot here in case he spots something I can hit. There we go. The SU-5 artillery piece.
Looks like that one
121, and he's taken out.
ready to fire.
Oh. Guessing he can take him out. No! He was taken out by the M37. Ah, okay. So we're back at an even match now. 2 artillery pieces and 2 tank destroyers. I'm not too concerned about the artillery piece. It's more the tank destroyer I'm concerned about. Let's see if we move up here. Hide behind this bush maybe. Wait for the binocs to come up. There we go. He's Sturmpanzer 2. And he's out. And there was the other artillery piece.
Enemy exposed.
Let's see.
Penetration.
And he spotted me.
They just hit
Ow.
gun. It's been damaged.
There I was hit. As you can see, 103 points of damage was taken from me by that tank destroyer. And he's actually managed to damage my gun here, so let's see. Need to play this clever. Because if he's left with 2 artillery pieces, then he's just gonna...
Camo net deployed.
He's gonna have no problem winning this. So this is a match of who spots who first. I think, yes, that artillery piece over there in the middle, he's gonna try and attack or spot him. And hopefully either me or the other artillery piece is or are gonna take out that SU-76. If we move up here, I should have a pretty good vantage point. And there he is. Come on, come on, come on. No, the first one's a miss. 91 damage. Come on, one more shot and he's dead. Ah. Alright, alright. We can still do this. Let's see. He knows I'm over here. So I should probably try and cut over here. Try and come around his flank. And catch him off guard. And then I just hope he's not anticipating that exact move from me. Let's see, how far around him should we go? Maybe just around this building over here. And wait for the binocs. See anything? No, not really. Now my artillery pieces. Yeah, I think he's over there. And I think that other artillery piece is gonna try and bait him, so let's see. Oh, and there he is. Can we take him out? Come on. Yes! Nice. Very nice baiting there by the artillery piece. Thank you very much. And here we are at the post-game stats. 974 base experience, earning me the Mastery Class 1 badge. It was a slow start with this tank, but we ended up with 3 destroyed enemy tanks and 977 damage dealt. As you may have noticed, with a sniping tank like this, it's quite important to stay back, to stay out of danger, but at the same time stay close enough to the enemy front so you can actually hit the enemy tanks. So it's a little bit of a balance. And on the same note, since you're in this kind of support role, the game will feel a little bit less fast-paced than medium and heavy tanks. It's been really great making this episode for you guys. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know in the comments below. You can check out some of my other episodes on my YouTube channel. If you would like to see more videos like this, please don't hesitate to hit the like and the subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching and stay legendary.